I'm a small-time streamer. Nothing huge, just a few hundred followers who tune in for my late-night gaming sessions. My setup is pretty standard: good PC, dual monitors, a decent mic, and a cheap webcam. I stream from my basement apartment, which is mostly concrete and shadows. Perfect for the vibe. The story starts a few months ago. I was playing a new open-world survival game. It was about 2 a.m. and I had maybe 30 people watching. Everything was normal. I was joking with chat, getting jump-scared by in-game monsters, the usual. Then the glitch happened. It wasn't a game glitch. The game was running fine. It was my webcam feed. For a split second, less than a frame, really, the image flickered. It wasn't a static flicker. It was a complete, jarring change of scene. The image that flashed was not my basement. It was a dark, empty room. The walls were peeling, and the floor was covered in what looked like dust and broken glass. But the most disturbing part was the corner of the room. There was a shape there, hunched over, too dark to make out, but it felt wrong. Like a knot of shadow that shouldn't exist. The feed snapped back to my face, and I didn't even notice it at first. It was one of my viewers, Knight_L_4, who brought it up in chat. "Dude, your cam just glitched. What was that?" I checked the VOD video on demand immediately. I scrubbed back to the time Knight_Owl_404 mentioned. And there it was, the split-second flash. I paused it, zoomed in. The room was definitely not mine. And the shape in the corner, it looked like a person, but twisted, facing the wall, completely motionless. I tried to laugh it off. Must be a corrupted frame or something. My cheap webcam finally dying. But the chat was freaking out. They started noticing things in the subsequent streams. Small things. Sometimes, when I'd look away from the camera to my second monitor, the reflection in my glasses would show something behind me that wasn't there in the room. Faint, pale shape. I'd whip my head around, and there would be nothing. The worst was the audio. I started getting complaints about a faint, high-pitched whine in the background of my streams. It was too quiet for my noise gate to catch, but if you turned your volume way up, you could hear it. It sounded like a distant, distressed animal or maybe a badly tuned radio. I went back to the VODs and isolated the audio. The whine was always there, but it would peak right before one of the visual glitches. One night, I decided to test it. I was streaming, and I had the VOD of the first glitch pulled up on my second monitor. I was trying to figure out where that room was. I said out loud, "I wonder if that room is in this building." The moment I said it, the webcam feed didn't just flicker. It went completely black and the audio cut out. My stream went dead. I checked my equipment. Everything was fine. The power was on, the internet was connected. But the stream software refused to connect to the camera. I got up to stretch, frustrated. As I walked past my desk, I glanced at the black screen of my webcam feed, and in the center of the blackness, a single line of white text appeared, like a subtitle. "It's closer than you think." I jumped back, knocking my chair over. I stared at the screen. The text was gone. Just blackness. I immediately unplugged the webcam, the mic, everything. I haven't streamed since. But the thing is, the whine is still here. I hear it now, even without the mic on. It's coming from the walls, from the floor, from the silence. And sometimes, when I look at a reflective surface, a dark window, a turned-off screen, I catch a glimpse of that pale, hunched shape in the periphery. I think the glitch wasn't a mistake. I think my stream, my cheap little webcam, somehow opened a window to a place, and now whatever was in that dark room knows I saw it. And it's trying to cross over. I don't know what to do. I just know that every time I hear that high-pitched whine, it's getting a little louder, and a little closer,